Hello and welcome back to Jikook Diaries, the safe haven for every heartbeat, every glance, and every unspoken emotion between Jimin and Jungkook. Today's story? Oh, it's not what you expect. It's something that left millions of armies frozen in place, eyes wide, hearts racing, and timelines exploding. Because when two souls like Jimin and Jungkook share a moment, even something as simple as a handshake, the entire world feels it. But this time, something was different. Something felt forbidden. It all started with what looked like a casual behind-the-scenes video, maybe just another day in the life of BTS. But eagle-eyed fans noticed something strange. The way Jungkook looked at Jimin before their hands touched. It wasn't just a glance, it was a silent confession. A moment so charged with emotion it nearly burst through the screen. Jimin, radiant as always, smiled gently as he reached out his hand. Jungkook hesitated for a fraction of a second. But in that 1 second, you could almost hear the breath of 1,000 armies being held. The way his eyes softened, the way his lips parted ever so slightly, it was as if he wasn't reaching for a hand, but something more, something deeper, something forbidden. And then their hands touched. It wasn't just a handshake. It was slow, tender, like they forgot for a moment that cameras were watching. Like they were in their own world, where no one else mattered. That one gesture sent shockwaves through the fandom. Screenshots were everywhere. Gifs spread like wildfire. But it wasn't just the handshake. It was Jungkook's expression after. He looked at Jimin like he was trying to memorize his face. Like he wanted to say something but held it back. His gaze dropped to Jimin's lips for a brief, breathless second. Just 1 second. That's all it took. That one glance was louder than 1,000 words. It was filled with longing, with history, with every unsaid thing between them. That's when the whispers started. Was Jungkook looking for the forbidden kiss? Fans went wild. I saw that look. One army tweeted with shaking hands. Jungkook's eyes literally said, "Just one kiss." Another fan cried, "They are not even hiding it anymore," echoed thousands of hearts across the globe. What made it even more powerful was the quietness of the moment. It wasn't a stage. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't loud. It was personal, private, and real. And maybe that's what makes Jikook so powerful. They don't need grand gestures. One handshake, one glance, one almost kiss, and the whole world feels it. Some say it's just fan imagination, that maybe we're reading too deeply into it. But those who've followed Jikook for years know better. This wasn't just about physical closeness. This was about emotional resonance. About two hearts that beat louder when the other is near. And isn't that what love really is? That moment, that soft, soul-stirring moment, reminded us all why we fell in love with Jikook in the first place. Because between them, every touch feels electric. Every silence feels sacred. Every interaction, no matter how small, carries the weight of years of history, trust, and affection. Jungkook's gaze, that longing look toward Jimin's lips, it said everything he couldn't say out loud. It wasn't about being reckless. It was about wanting something so deeply and knowing it's just out of reach. That's the tragedy and the beauty of forbidden love. But what happened after that moment was what truly stirred the hearts of ARMY. It wasn't just that fleeting glance or the brush of fingertips, it was everything that followed. The silence between them, the subtle shift in energy, the way Jungkook tucked his hand into his sleeve, almost protectively, as if the warmth of Jimin's touch was too much to carry in the open. And Jimin? He smiled. Not his usual stage smile. Not the playful one he gives when he's joking, but something softer, wistful, knowing. Fans who've followed them for years recognized that smile. It's the one Jimin gives when he's remembering something he can't quite say. The one that hides 1,000 emotions behind gentle eyes. And when Jungkook noticed Jimin's smile, his eyes lit up, but only for a second. Then they lowered again, guarded. Because even when the heart wants to leap, sometimes the world teaches it to hold back. In fan edits that flooded TikTok, you could see the moment in slow motion. Music swelled in the background, often romantic, sometimes melancholic, as editors captured the way Jungkook's thumb lingered a moment too long on Jimin's hand. As if he didn't want to let go. As if he didn't know how to. They didn't let go. Not really. Not emotionally. That was the caption on one viral clip, which gained over 2 million views in under 24 hours. And what happened later in the day only deepened the mystery. During a break from filming, the camera caught Jungkook watching Jimin from across the room. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't laughing. He was thinking. His eyes were fixed, his body still, like someone trying to memorize a painting before it was taken down from the wall. Some fans believed he was muttering under his breath. Others claimed he clenched his jaw when Jimin averted his gaze. And then there was Jungkook. Always quiet, always measured. He didn't say much at the time, but later in the interview, when asked what he wanted to say to someone he couldn't be with, he smiled almost bitterly and replied, "Maybe in another life, where it's simpler, where we're not who we are now." The hosts thought he was being poetic. Fans knew better. They felt it. In thousands of fan edits, the narrative is now woven. Hidden love, stolen moments behind curtains, hands held when no one was looking. And that handshake, it has become a symbol of everything unspoken, everything forbidden, everything real. In the days that followed, neither Jimin nor Jungkook addressed the moment directly, but ARMY noticed the little things. Jungkook was wearing the bracelet Jimin had given him again. Jimin uploaded a song with lyrics about wishing to turn back time. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe that's how they communicate in code. And perhaps the most heartbreaking thing is this: unspoken love doesn't mean love doesn't exist. Sometimes the deepest bonds are those forged in silence. That handshake, that moment, louder than a statement. It was two people trying to hold on to feelings the world kept telling them to hide. They were poetry. One fan tweeted, "Not in words, in the pauses between them." So ARMY waits, not just for a kiss, but for the moment when love no longer needs to be hidden. The moment the forbidden becomes celebrated. The moment when Jikook can stop pretending to be just friends and start telling the world what's been hidden in their eyes all along. Until then, we'll keep this in mind. That gentle handshake, that longing look, that soft breath before Jungkook turns away. Because sometimes, the strongest love stories aren't the loudest. But it's what's told in silence, in shadows, in stolen moments. And that's what makes Jikook eternal. Stay close, dear ARMY. This story continues. Always. In the end, maybe it's not about proving anything to the world. Maybe it's just about finding someone whose soul understands yours without a word. Jimin and Jungkook have shown us that sometimes, the strongest love lives in the quietest spaces. In a look, in a touch, in the moments we almost miss. So to every ARMY out there who's still holding their breath, still believing in a love that doesn't need to be shouted about, thank you. Because your hearts help keep this story alive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a second of Jikook's ongoing story. Write in the comments, what did you feel during that handshake? Was it love, promise, or the beginning of something bigger? Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.